tell me a little bit about your background, first of all.
Yeah, so I'm from Wilson County. I came up in Wilson County schools as a teacher and coach and assistant principal, and came over to Lebanon Special School District in '06 as principal at Walter J. Baird Middle School, and started my 5th year as principal, and right after the start of the school year, moved into the assistant director position here in the school district, and then on January 1 of 2012 became superintendent of schools. So been here ever since.
Okay. You said you worked in Wilson County Schools. What
Yeah.
did you teach? What did you coach?
Yeah, so I taught just a little bit of everything at the middle school level. PE, English, math, reading, coached girls basketball, and then for 1 year went to Mount Juliet High School and was assistant girls basketball coach there as well before returning to Lebanon High School actually as assistant principal. Yeah.
Do you think all of your background has helped you prepare for the superintendent's job?
Wow. Yeah, good question. Yeah, I think so. Probably the best preparation was being a principal. But I don't know that you're ever really prepared for what you're going to face as superintendent. So some really good on the job training, I guess.
So, what have you learned in this job?
Yeah, well, it's been very rewarding. I've enjoyed it immensely, and it's been a good run. And I've learned that kids are kids, and kids are eager to learn if you set up the appropriate learning environment for them, and just really enjoyed over the years working with other educators, my colleagues here locally, teachers and principals, and just serving families and students, and it was a really good thing for me for a long time. So it's all good, yeah.
So, what did the pandemic? How did it affect your job?
Yeah, no doubt it affected my job. Truth be known, and I don't know, there's lots of factors, I guess, going into my decision at this point to retire. Even though I do have the years in to do it, I'm still a young man, hopefully relatively healthy as well. But it was difficult and probably changed my perspective on lots of things. I think just in general, our society has changed a lot through COVID, and not necessarily for the good. But there are challenges every day in any position, wherever you go. Obviously, there are challenges every day in the school business and being an educator and being a superintendent. But I think every day was a challenge throughout that process. And so it was difficult, there's no doubt, going through that. But, that's what life's about, going through challenges and overcoming those challenges and seeing them as opportunities. But there's no doubt, I think, that probably sped up the process of me being in a position to heavily consider and ultimately decide to retire at this point. It's hard to pinpoint it, but no doubt that was a difficult time.
So, how did you lead the principals to lead their teachers and staff during that time?
Yeah, during the pandemic. I can recall when it all started, and we shut down that March. We had the tornado, and then we shut down. It seemed like immediately after that, and it just happened really quick. I can remember our mission the rest of that school year, and that was the beginning of March when that happened. We really made the decision as a district to serve families and take care of families, whatever that meant. And at the time, that meant really serving our community that was impacted by the tornado. It meant feeding children. If you'll recall, our team here just immediately got on track for that. And as far as schooling and educating children, that really came to a halt. And we didn't really know how long we were going to be out, what that would look like. So I can remember, I don't remember exactly what we said to our team, but it was something along these lines, that we're going to serve families, we're going to take care of families, and we're going to connect with families educationally, whatever they're comfortable with. Some families, quite frankly, they were trying to survive the pandemic with a lost job or whatever, or lost home. And so education probably wasn't high on their priority list at that point. So I could remember us talking about with our team, we'll connect however our families are comfortable there. And then moving on to the next school year, the responsibility was back on us to educate. And so fortunately for us, we had been a one-to-one school district since 2014 as far as technology and devices and those kind of things. So although that was a challenge that we learned along the way, and we got better along the way. But to start that next school year, it was back on us to educate children, and so our team pulled together and did the best we could. If you'll recall, starting off totally remote, and connecting then, and then having to move to a hybrid schedule, and then I think coming back to school, but then maybe going back to a hybrid and a remote here and there. So extremely challenging for everybody. And that was tough for families too, and we get that. But we were really proud at the time of our team and our teachers and principals and how they connected with families. And quite frankly, even though we were used to technology in our school district and used it a lot, it changes the game when our children are at home and we have to engage them fully from there. So really proud of our team and our teachers at that point, how everyone responded in that scenario.
What did you all do about lack of broadband in some areas?
Yeah, so really, believe it or not, there was very little of that, even in our community here. But we responded by trying to provide that, whether it was hotspots, and I can't give you a number off the top of my head, but we purchased many hotspots and provided those to families. We tried to make families aware of places they could go in town as well that would provide that. We did have some families that would pull up to the school campus and connect in that manner as well. But we wanted to make sure, one of the goals at that time was to make sure that the connectivity would not be an issue with a family staying in tune with their education and connecting with us. So we tried to provide that for everyone that needed it.
Do you want to talk about other reasons that you decided to leave?
Yeah, so, and I didn't directly point to COVID a moment ago. There's no doubt that probably played a part in the decision. But, doing this a long time, 31 years, I've seen a lot of educators come and go. And so over the years, people would tell me when they retired, I just knew. And they said that to me. And it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, really, until this past school year. And so at some point pretty early in this past school year, it was talking to me. And I think I came to that realization of when you know, and thought that there would be, that this was just good timing for me. Maybe going out when things were going well, before people were asking me to leave, maybe, so to speak, and maybe excited about another chapter and what else is out there and that sort of thing. So, so to directly answer your question, I think it sort of snuck up on me that at pretty early fall, this past school year, that I just felt like it was a good time for me. Yeah.
So you said in January you would talk about your future plans. Yeah. What are they?
Yeah, so that's a good question, and so obviously been working on some of those things over the last couple of months, having conversations. So as recently as the last 2 weeks, been in conversations with a couple individuals. So I have a couple of companies. I'm not going to go public with that totally, but staying in the educational field. not working for a school system, but working for a couple of companies that in a consulting, advising type role, in promoting their company with school districts. And one of them will be more of a local Tennessee base. The other one being more of a regional and national scope there. But excited about that, excited about the flexibility maybe for me personally in my schedule moving forward in doing that. So yeah, I think there'll be a few opportunities that I'm excited about.
Now, do you have hobbies that you'll undertake or take up?
Yeah, so I've never been a fix-it guy. But maybe I can become one at the house. But we really enjoy travel. We've always enjoyed that, enjoyed the beach a lot too as well. So hopefully we'll be able to do that more than we do now. And yeah, so like I said, maybe I'll have to Google on how to do a plumbing job and some of those things around the house, because to this point I haven't been very efficient at those type things.
So what do you think about the future of LSSD?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about it. I think we've had a history of strong leadership in our district, a history of a good, strong culture within our district family here and with the community, and we've got a really good team on board. And although I'm leaving, our team is staying, and they're wonderful people, and they care about kids and do a great job. And so with Mr. Hutto coming in, he knows our district well. He has been involved for over 10 years as a principal in this district and been instrumental in what we've been doing. So I'm excited about that. He knows the community. He knows the need. Even though I referenced earlier that I'm still a young man, he's 12 years younger than I am, and in this position at least will bring a new passion for things. So I'm excited about that, and so just things on the horizon for the district and initiatives that we've had started that will continue. New initiatives that are already in discussion. I'll say this, test scores are embargoed right now, and there's no doubt we suffered from the COVID learning loss, as most school districts across the country did. And so I made reference really at the end of the school year, when we had our end of the school year luncheon, and we had all our teachers and principals in one room, and I referenced that we had several pieces of evidence that we were back on track academically and moving in the right direction. Well, since then, we've gotten our scores from the state, and although they're embargoed, so I'm not going to give you specifics, we have since had conversations, and I've got tables and charts on my desk right now that prove we're back on track, and so we're moving back towards moving the needle when it comes to academic achievement and growth in our district. As you'll recall, Angie, for a lot of years there, we were recognized as a level 5 district and an exemplary school district and those sort of things. So don't know how that'll fall out this year, but there's no doubt we're back on track for that. So to your question, I'm excited about the future of the district and the team that we have and Mr. Hutto, and we're continuing to grow. As you know, opening Jones Brummett this past year, and it's going to be soon, really soon, for the district when they have to undertake the next building project. It won't go as long as we have in the past for that. So the future looks bright, and I'm excited for it.
Is there anything else?
I would say I'm very grateful to have done what I've done for 30 years, and I wouldn't change much about it. And although we talked about some of the challenges the last few years with COVID and that sort of thing, I will leave this place with fond memories of working with some wonderful people and really observing firsthand our teachers performing miracles on a daily basis in the classroom. And so I'm just very thankful to have been a part of that. and to have worked in my community, to serve our community here. And so I walk away with positive, good feel for my career here, and what the school district means to the community, and what they will continue to mean to the community. So it is bittersweet. It is bittersweet walking away. I've shed a few tears to this point, and I'm sure with next week being my last week officially, I'll probably shed some more between now and then. But it's been really good.
Okay.